Nah, he's using his feet.
Bro, if I was using my feet, I'd have to be back here fucking.
Nah, his wiener's on the table right now, bro. His wiener's out there just like boom, 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 boom.
he just slung the keyboard just.
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. So, gentlemen, what are we talking about today?
It's in the news. I don't know if that picked up all what I said, but it's in the news.
It cut out like right at the end.
Yeah, cancer.
Yeah, it was.
I figured it would as I dripped it back, but it felt good. It felt good. Yeah, so it's everything in the news. It's going to be first takes on the new Warzone map, because that's what we did last night. It's talking about NickMercs and his brand new business deal, and also how that rides along with what Courage and Rage just did. And whatever the hell else we decide to talk about in today's news with gaming, because that's what we're about. We talk about today's news right here, right now. Let's do it.
Starts off, Joe.
I was just trying to see how long we could be silent.
So yeah, let's start out Warzone. So that's what we did last night. Okay, I'm so happy I can finally see his face when he does that. He does that all the time, and I never see his face. I just hear like, and that's all you hear. It's nice to know that like all you do, you don't even move. You have no actual mannerism to it. It's just ah.
Right, yeah. Wait, you expect you to be all in the paint like you is?
Yes.
You is. Jesus.
Like
You is.
You is, bro?
I just accept my stupid. I see skies of blue.
I see trees of green, red roses too.
Red roses too.
All right. So, anyways, Warzone. Yeah. So Warzone. So for those of you who don't know, Verdansk just got exploded. And for those of you who have been following along with the show, know that we have never, ever played Warzone on this show before. So last night, or whenever this podcast comes out on YouTube, at some point, we played Warzone. And
I'll be right back. You're right.
While he's gone. So last night we played Warzone, and it was a lot of fun. We did some fun stuff. So if you missed the stream last night, tune in to YouTube. You'll see all the details as to what we did. It was great. It was a blast. But Ultra Anderson, what are you doing, Anderson? Okay.
My camera right now. This is great.
We are off the rails. This is how we are tonight. So Jesus, Mary and Joseph. So for those of you who don't know, again, Verdansk was blown up. The big event happened just a couple days ago, and it was a 2-day event. Day one was everyone dropping into Verdansk, and when you dropped in, you could drop in solo, duo, trio, quads. It didn't matter. The purpose was to stay alive as long as you possibly could until the timer ran out. And if you died, you turned into a zombie. So basically what they were going with was the zombie outbreak in Verdansk. A nuke was launched from a certain island, which was confirmed later on as Rebirth Island, because on day 2, that's where you start. But finishing day 1, nuke launched, lands, hits stadium, boom, gone. And that's kind of where they left you. And then you just had to play Rebirth Island until the next day, when all that came back to day 2, which in day 2 was where you drop in on Rebirth 10 minutes before the nuke was launched, which was really cool. Grab the nuke trigger and run around with it until the timer goes out, and then once the timer goes out, you launch the nuke. Boom. Nuke. The cutscene was really cool though. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see the cutscene, but the cutscene was the nuke in reverse. So from the point of explosion, you see the mushroom clouds shrink back in, the nuke comes back, it zooms out all the way to a satellite, and you see the satellite orbiting Earth, and then the Earth starts spinning in the opposite direction. And when the Earth starts spinning in the opposite direction, you see that it starts to zoom in on the Earth again. Basically what happens is it went back in time to 1984. And so now it's Verdansk 84. The map's a little different, but that is part of why we're talking about that today. We're going to give first takes on the new map, because I know y'all have never played the old map. I did briefly, but we're going to give first takes on the new map and a lot of what's coming out of the Twitter sphere as well as the Reddit sphere as to how people are enjoying it. So, gentlemen, since you two have not played Warzone previously, outside of Sam briefly playing with me to kind of get a feel for the game, Anderson really never has touched the game before. It's just not his forte on those style of games. What were your first takes on that map?
It was large. It was cool. It had weapons. No, just kidding. No, it was fun. I played a lot of other VRs, you know, Fortnite, PUBG, Apex, and I mean, it seemed to fall, you know, near kind of standard BR map format. You know, there was going to be one area that, you know, a lot of people drop at, or like a bunch of areas that a lot of people drop at, and then, you know, places that you can stretch out to and, you know, maybe try to survive a little bit longer, but have to run like crazy or get in a vehicle. I do like, so I think it seems a little bit bigger, at least in like Fortnite map. You know, it doesn't take as long to run across it. It doesn't take as long to run across a Fortnite map compared to like a Call of Duty one, which you can tell based off of how many vehicles are around. I mean, they've got helicopters, they got little, you know, like razor looking things, and then they've got the big old fucking trucks. So I enjoyed it. As far as how it compares to the previous, again, I've got like maybe 2 hours of experience in the previous one. It looked like literally an older version of the original map. You know, like it was just stuff from the 80s as opposed to being modern. So I thought that was a cool little touch. Myself.
Anderson?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't play these games.
Yeah. Have you played a VR before?
Have
you played a VR before?
Yeah, I played PUBG a little bit in Fortnite when it first came out, but I mean, it was just like any other BR kind of layout. It just looked like Fortnite, but realistic.
And that's something that I'm glad you said, because we've talked about before how the three of us have very different gameplay, you know, areas. You know, we've talked about this before many times. I enjoy BRs. I'm not big on Fortnite. We talked about that before, but I do enjoy BRs. I enjoy PUBG, Apex. You know, I enjoy Warzone now as well, even though it can be toxic. But that's kind of my arena of things. And Anderson, I know you don't really touch BRs ever.
Yeah,
really. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, as a first time player, it does make sense why it would feel like just a standard BR. The reason I would say it goes above and beyond is because when you compare it to the others, the only one that kind of really touches it with availability of vehicles, availability of weapons off drop, availability of being able to find what you need, travel and things of that nature, I would say the only one that really touches it is PUBG. And the reason I say that is because they are very similar play styles when it comes to you know, understanding bullet drop, understanding, you know, distance of shots, regardless of the weapon you're using, understanding the weapons you're using, understanding a lot. There's mechanics behind it that really make it, you know, what it is.
Yeah.
But Sam, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of people are pissed. A lot of people are pissed. A lot of your avid players are pissed because they are saying that Activision took the short way out.
Yeah.
Instead of dropping a nuke, because if you watch the event, you go on YouTube after you watch this, or pause this, go pull up another window, pull up YouTube, and type in season 2 finale Verdansk explosion, whatever you want to call it. You'll see the whole thing right there. I watched Tim's and Courage's stream on 2 different screens, watching it from 2 perspectives. It was pretty dope. But everyone's saying that Activision, dropped a nuke on this map and really should have just destroyed it. But instead, what they did was they took it back to 1984, where it was being built. Like, if you look where Stadium is currently technically being built in this new map. Where the dam used to be, it's now called Summit, and there's just a bridge that goes across, and it's wide open gorge underneath it. There's a bunch of different other places in there, like buildings are changed, like you can tell the landscape's changed a little bit, but it's still the exact same map. And a lot of people are upset about that because they're saying that Activision kind of screwed them over. Like, Activision really didn't give them a new map that they were kind of alluding to the entire time.
Yeah.
As someone who played the old map enough, I kind of have to agree. Like, I'm not opposed to the map they dropped because it's still fun. Like, I still enjoy it. We had a lot of fun doing what we were doing last night. We were not playing competitive by any means. It was all for shits and giggles. See, I don't know, already screwed up. Wow. Yep, I'm gonna bleep that one out later.
Yeah, we're trying not to cuss as much.
Yeah, we're trying to be clean. It was all for fun, and it made the game a lot more fun, comedic sake for sure. But I mean, when you look at it from the standpoint of if you're trying to win games, it's really not any different. Like, there's no revitalization to the game. I know y'all really didn't play it that much or at all, but would you say that, Sam, since you've definitely played it beforehand, would you say that changing the map would have been good, or would it have just been fan service and gotten old really quick?
I mean, it always depends on, like, how they end up implementing a new map and like what, the layout is, how large it is. Cause like what I think could help change up the style of gameplay on Warzone is to have a much smaller map. And I know that might seem counterintuitive, but like a smaller map that you're not going to be in as many vehicles, for example, right? Like, so like just to give some variety to it. Cause like the problem is now you have a map that is the exact same size, basically the exact same shape with, I believe, the exact same vehicles, right?
Yes.
So there's, as far as the playability, or like not so much the playability, but like just like the overall setting and, like how it's all laid out, that hasn't changed at all. The weapons, from what I understand, are just older style weapons now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not, they went to a more Cold War approach, which, I mean, they have, Black Ops Cold War, which, so it makes sense why they went back in time to kind of tie together the Modern Warfare and Black Ops universes a little bit. But when it comes to a BR, keeping it fresh is key. And so like PUBG did not PUBG, Fortnite did a really good job of keeping the map fresh all the time. Like they would have new biomes. They introduced, like the water system. They introduced, like before they introduced vehicles, they had the shopping carts as like a little kind of teaser, and then eventually came out with like the golf carts and stuff. And so they changed. Okay. Changed movement to kind of keep the game fresh and not have it just be the same shit over and over again. Mm-hmm. So I think they could have done a better job of actually updating the map as opposed to just slapping an 80s skin on top of it and making it basically the same game.
So I'll go a step further with that. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say making the map smaller would have made a difference.
Yeah. Well, that was just like a personal opinion of mine, right? Like I'm not saying that's exactly what they should have done, but like just something to that effect.
Well, so just small minor changes would have been huge. Like for the sake of it, like a problem that you're seeing a lot of is when you have a 150 person map like that, the map itself, it's got zones. It's got its zones where you're going to be playing, and a lot of people don't necessarily want to drop in those zones. But the gameplay kind of forces them to do so. The gameplay forces them to drop into those zones, and you're just basically pinned to an all-out firefight, and it's make or break. You better hope you get good. And I think personally that making the zones maybe like an extra 30 seconds longer, or at least the first one, to give a chance to explore the map a little bit, or drop where you want to drop, that would be huge, because you've got a lot of people who are going to be dropping. Like, let's say for instance the zone drops on downtown, or that's a primary zone where like the zone keeps shrinking too. Well, if everyone drops downtown, you're going to have, by the second ring, you're going to have half your lobby gone already. Yeah. And then that makes for a very slow paced game. I think that being able to give that first ring at least an extra 30 seconds, an extra 30-second nerf time would be nice. I also think that maybe mixing up the vehicles a little bit.
Yeah.
Give it some refreshing feel to it. Activision's kind of banking on the fact that the new season pass gives a lot more new skins, a lot more availability. Oh, his food shut up.
Yep.
I feel like nice. I feel like Activision giving that opportunity for like in the battle pass is a cop out, because if you ride on your battle pass, you're riding on the fact that people are going to get do microtransactions to buy what you want them to buy.
Yeah.
The problem is if you don't have the continuity of the game growing like Fortnite did, and as much as I hate Fortnite, that's what they did right. Epic got it right. They constantly update the game. They constantly change it. If Activision doesn't do that, and Activision like just did a full 2-day event, oh man, the Verdansk is gone. They were even saying Verdansk is going to disappear. Well, you can't say Verdansk is going to disappear and then make us go 30 years in the past to go to Verdansk 84, or 40 years in the past. Like, what? Like, it's not it. That's a cop out, because what you're making it sound like is you're giving us a brand new map to play on, which honestly would have been great.
Yeah,
it would have been fantastic, because then that kind of levels the playing field again and say, okay, now you need to learn your spots. You need to learn your call outs, learn where your supply stations are, where your boxes are, like what change up those things, because people see that.
Yeah, and I think they could have taken a much more like PUBG approach, so that because they have like the normal map, and then they also have another map to play on that you can queue up for either one. And so like that, so whereas like Fortnite would just change the map that they have, every 6 weeks or however often they did it, which is cool. But I think they could have benefited from a more PUBG approach to where they have more options to choose from. So like if you like the original Verdansk, it's cool. But if you want to go to the new one, that's fine too. Because that's what really, we all know kind of PUBG's kind of dying out a little bit. Like we're not really seeing it as much anymore.
It has been for a while.
Yeah, but the last time it had a breath of fresh air was when that new map finally dropped. Because nothing else has really changed other than they might have changed up some gun mechanics and coming out with new guns or whatever. But I think keeping the core game too similar in this day and age is kind of a death sentence, to where it's just going to eventually go away.
Yeah. And honestly, that's where Apex gets it right, because Apex has, I think, 3 different maps. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Kings Canyon, World's Edge, and Olympus or Olympia or whatever the hell it's called. But Apex rotates them every like 30 or 45 minutes. Like, they're rotating the map out so way, so like it's on a timer. So if you're within that time block, you're playing that one map. And that way everyone's getting a fresh taste. Like, because if you're just hopping on for a couple rounds, you're going to get the map you get. It sucks. If you're going to be long gaming like a streamer does, you're going to be playing all the maps. And it makes it a lot more fresh, because you're not doing the same thing over and over again. So If you're playing Kings Canyon, you're not going to play Olympia or Olympus. Oh, I think it's Olympus. I want to say it's Olympus. I'm going to call it Olympus for the sake of it. But you're not going to play Olympus the same way you play Kings Canyon because it's a much more open map. It's a much more broad map. There's a lot of different areas to drop, a lot of different loot in different areas. Your hot drops are going to be different. Everything in that game is different. Warzone, however, you're dropping the same place over and over again. Like, I really like dropping farmland. I find great loot there when I play solos, and I drop there every single time. And then I'll hop on an ATV and right up the road I go. But, you know, the thing is, if farmland's out of zone, I've got to haul ass. And a majority of that time, this is difficult. This is difficult. But I've got to fly. So if I'm all the way on the other side of the map, I've got to hover all the way over, parachute over, drop, get my loot, and go before the gas hits me. And that makes it really difficult. But looking at it from the standpoint of getting a new map, I can understand fully where a lot of gamers are going to be upset. You know, I mean, when, truth be told, like when I was watching the streams, you saw a lot of the chats filled up with just constant L's, bro. Because a lot of people were just like, why? Why? Like, why would we play this game now? Y'all aren't doing anything to actually make it fresh for us. And Activision's got to be careful because with pulling a move like that, like, yeah, the name's big and really they're the biggest BR on the market right now, but a lot of people are going to get bored of that real quick if they don't make some changes.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
But also, that brings up this point too. And this is something that I believe, have all experienced at least some point in time. I know y'all didn't watch the event, but did you hear about what took place during the event?
All I know is when he died, he became a zombie, and something else. I don't know.
So Activision didn't take into account how many people would be logging in at that exact same time.
Oh, shit.
Their servers crashed completely. I'm talking. So I was watching the stream. It was Cloaksy, Tim, Courage, and Nick. They drop in. Oh, come on, internet. Come on, internet. Thank you. They drop in, and as they drop in, they land, they start firing, and all of a sudden it was like 4 minutes left on the timer, and the game just stops. Like, you see them kind of running in place, and they're like, what happened?
Oh, shit.
And everyone's like, I was like, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know, like, what took place. They get kicked, so they're waiting.
Fun.
Tim got whips to contact their Activision rep and be like, what is going on? What is going on over there? And the Activision had to make a quick adjustment and shrink the lobbies to 100-man only.
Oh, because it's normally 120, right?
It's 150.
150.
Oh.
So they couldn't keep up with the capacity of how many people were joining into the games at the exact same time. On top of that, they put a server wait list out. So if you were trying to log into the game, you were on this server wait list, and if someone left, then you could get in.
Oh, that definitely sucks.
It was basically like an Activision nightclub. And if you weren't already in before the door filled up, you won't get in. Like, I think at one point the wait time was like 40 minutes, 50 minutes to get into the game. And then if you really got screwed over and you got in closer to the end, they shut the game down because the map has already detonated. So they shut the game down and you couldn't get in at all. You can only get into Rebirth.
Oh my God, that's
wow. I mean, they should have seen that coming with, I mean, as popular as like Fortnite's, events were, I mean, they should have at least had the foresight to do that, but I guess not. Maybe I'm just wishful thinking.
I don't know. That just seems like oversight, like not even good foresight on their part.
Yeah. I completely agree, Anderson. I completely agree. So what you're telling me, Activision, is what?
Apparently my webcam or whatever is not working. Hold on.
Oh, rip.
I mean, y'all keep going out.
But Activision, what you're telling me is you're one of the biggest companies in gaming right now. You're a multi-billion-dollar company, and you didn't take into account that every single person who's playing your game might tune in at the exact same time when they're all preparing for you to blow up the map they've been playing all the way since the beginning of Warzone. What? Like, how do you not comprehend that? How does that not go through your brain of maybe we should boost our server power a little bit? Maybe we should buy some more server space. We need to be prepared for this. Like, to me, it seems absolutely asinine for a company like that to just overlook that one minor thing of, oh yeah, we might want to have some more space for people. Yeah, minor. Like, when I saw that, I was just like, this is not good. And I mean, all the streamers were pissed. The streamers were pissed.
I'd be pissed too. What kind of company are you if you have a server-based game and don't account for the fact that you might have more people in that server? That's just stupid.
Exactly right. You're exactly right. And it was frustrating. As a viewer, it was frustrating because I didn't tune in. I didn't try and get in the game. When I found out they had a server wait list, I was like, nope. Because I genuinely was like, maybe I might go do this, like, and record it for y'all and put it on YouTube, because I definitely wasn't going to stream it. But I thought about just, going on and playing it and, getting some YouTube content out there. I wouldn't have been able to. There was no way I was getting into the game. So
that's sad.
It's poor.
Yeah.
It's absolutely poor work. So I know, we're the consumer, and a lot of companies who are multi-billion-dollar companies just see the dollar signs. You're going to have people buying into what you do regardless. But I guess the point I would like to make here is Activision really needs to get their stuff together, because
I mean, they haven't had their stuff together since the Modern Warfare campaigns.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Everything post MW 3, like, it's
you could even argue then MW 3 was just like, it was scraping it.
The campaign was good. The multiplayer lobbies were scuffed, but
yeah,
the campaign was good. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing is, this is a strictly multiplayer game. Like, there's things you can do within the game. Like right now, they have a thing called Hunt for Adler, which is Adler's apparently like someone you have to go find so you can unlock the skin. But they have that in the game, which is cool. It's cool that that's a thing. But it's not a campaign-based game. It's a battle royale game. Epic there's nothing wrong with not reinventing the wheel. Keep that in mind. There is nothing wrong with going, they're doing it right. What are they doing right? Okay, let's do it our way. Just, kind of like the whole don't copy if you copy it, but don't make it look like you copied it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. Like, Epic figured it out. Fortnite sucks, but Fortnite only sucks because there's a bunch of kids on it who just really, they rattle your ears when they're like, I got you with the tax shot. Yeah. Like, but what? Like, bruh, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I rest my case.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's a good time to move on to the next topic.
I would say so.
Yeah. Consider you spent like half the episode on it.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. That just the things with that just really got me, because I know we talked about it before, but they're like, when you have that much money and that much time to prepare, and then you just don't.
Yeah.
It's not even worth playing anymore. Like, you're kind of like, why am I giving you my money? But the next thing up, for those of you who may not have heard, there was a giant purchase, if you will, and that purchase was NickMercs is now co-owner of FaZe Clan.
Yep.
And that was announced. This also happens. Let me see here.
Right after, pretty much.
Yeah, so I want to look this up real quick and see how long it was between the two. So
I'm gonna go ahead and guess like 5 or 6 days.
So NickMercs revealed as of 2 days ago he was co-owner. Courage. Let's see, 100 Thieves.
I know Ray was announced
2
like
weeks ago.
quite a while ago.
So Ray and Courage were announced on the exact same day.
Yeah, they had a whole promotional video on YouTube about it.
Yeah. So did y'all hear about how things went for 100 Thieves and NickMercs?
I kept up with 100 Thieves because, as we all know, I like watching Valkyrie, but I didn't care about FaZe.
Fair. Sam, did you hear what happened?
No, I saw the news with Valkyrie. That's it. I didn't know Courage was announced actually. But
yeah. So for those of you who don't know, there was a big kerfuffle of stuff that happened. Kerfuffle. That happened between Nadeshot, who was the owner or co-owner at least of 100 Thieves, and NickMercs. Short and skinny of it all, NickMercs and Nadeshot had done a vocal handshake agreement that Nick would become co-owner of 100 Thieves. That was then completely thrown into the fire without apparently Nick knowing, which then brought in some outlier like money person
Legalities.
Thank you, legalities. It basically, there was another person behind the scenes, behind the veil, who was also co-owner with Nadeshot, who came to the forefront and said, no, Nick's talking trash about Nadeshot. This isn't real. Then it came out that he actually did make that vocal agreement with him, but Nadeshot wouldn't make a comment on it because he felt as though it was best not to make a public scene when there was no actual document signed.
I was about to say a vocal agreement is one thing, but actually writing it down and signing your name on something, that's completely different.
Well, I would take it a step further and say a vocal agreement on a multi-million-dollar company
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't mean shit until you sign some papers.
Yeah. Unless you got those papers and a lawyer present, it don't mean shit.
Well, so 2 weeks ago, a lot of people heard Courage and apparently besides Sam, Courage and Valkyrie became co-owners with Nadeshot. I actually watched Courage stream that day, and Courage was basically saying like, we've got something big dropping, this huge thing, and they put together a promo video for it. It was dope. But that is what is happening now is Courage JD, who once was a small streamer just like us, has now gone in and become co-owner of the team who he signed on with. I think it was 2 years ago or a year ago. And he and Valkyrie are now co-owners with Nadeshot and the board members at 100 Thieves.
Let's not forget that Valkyrie was also a small-time streamer, but she was also in our shoes that she was working multiple jobs and stuff just to support herself and her family. And now she's made it this far and very quickly.
If I'm not mistaken, she actually did that within like what, the last 4 years?
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah. So to continue that, of course, Nick had to get the last word in. The day that all that news broke about 100 Thieves, he went on Twitter and decided to say, don't worry, FaZe Clan for life, or some jargon, and said there's big news dropping. Well, here we are just 2 days ago. He is now co-owner of FaZe Clan. My question to y'all on this,
whether it seems like a pity party or he's just trying to save some sort of image.
We'll start there. Do you think that Nadeshot doing this was strictly out of business, positivity, or do we feel as though he signed on to be co-owner of FaZe Clan because of what Courage and Ray got?
For me,
Go ahead.
Sam.
No, you got it. That's fine.
All right. So when I look at this situation, all I'm seeing here is that Nade Shot and whatever the other dude's name, Mercury is what Mercy, huh?
NickMercs.
NickMercs. I see that they have a little bit of beef. Apparently a misunderstanding happened. And I mean, Nade Shot operated out of his business practices and of course the other co-owners at the time, and they didn't want him on. He said no. I mean, a vocal agreement doesn't mean it's actually an agreement. It just means word of mouth. So
Well, that
happened.
I mean, and like, and Nade Shot, I don't think can make that decision by himself. He's got to go to the board. It's like, I like him. And so, I mean, it now again, we're speculating a lot, but if Nick had any kind of business sense at all, he would know not to, be excited about anything until the board signs off.
Yeah, not to get hung up on word of mouth.
Yeah.
You should only be excited when you have the papers in front of you. Now, what Nick did, I believe, it's kind of like a 75-25, like 75% business. Like, yeah, it'd be a great move for him, great jump in his career and everything like that. And money, of course, talks. But then the 25% just being like, yeah, fuck you, Nade.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
I like how you I like how you cursed to make up for your curse.
I'm trying.
We're trying, chat. We're trying.
Yo, we got some potty mouths. That's all I gotta say. Like we cuss a lot. And so
my whole vocabulary is based around vulgar stuff. Almost did it there too. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of curious to see if Courage and Valkyrie jumping in was because somebody just signed off or like said no to NickMercs. Like, I don't know. I wonder if they were part of the original conversation of, hey, we need some investment. Let's get some co-owners in here.
I feel like they were, because they've been with 100 Thieves for a good bit.
They have, yeah. So I mean, I'd assume they are, but like, I'd be curious to see if that was the case or if it was really just like a reaction to NickMercs not doing it. I'd assume, like I said, that it was just, they were already part of the conversation anyway. I'd hope so.
Well, so I want to bring in these figures as well. So this was done in 2020, at the end of 2020. So this is still fresh. Forbes did a breakdown of the top 10 most profitable and highest valued esports teams or esports clubs. Oh, I remember who it was. Sorry, the person who came out from behind the veil was Scooter Braun. I'll get more into that in a second. So as far as Nick making a valued business decision, he went the right direction. And honestly, 100 Thieves kind of did him a favor. And the reason I say that is that these are the top 5, well, the top 10 teams. I'll start with number 10. Highest value. Number 10, T1. Number 9, NRG Esports. Or Energy, sorry. Yeah, I totally read that letter for letter there. My bad.
That's NRG. Like, that works too.
Let's go. Anderson. Do you play CSGO? Number 8, G2 Esports. Number 7, Enthusiast Gaming. Number 6, Gen G. Number 5, valued at $190 million, 100 Thieves. Number 4, valued at $305 million, FaZe Clan.
Dang.
So
what's the rest of that list? Yeah. You can't count down from 10 and then not do 3, 2, 1.
Well, I said
no.
So.
Well, it sounded like you were.
Number 3, value at $310 million, Team Liquid. Number 2, value at $350 million, Cloud9. And number 1, valued at $410 million, TSM.
Damn.
Yeah, I literally don't pay attention to any of those. So okay.
Yeah, there's a few that I'm like, who?
Exactly.
Yep. So this is the part where it kind of makes me wonder if this is a middle finger to 100 Thieves, because FaZe is valued much higher. I mean, they've got the revenue stream to show for it. The part that makes all this drama filled is the fact that Nick just likes to run his mouth.
Yeah.
NickMercs, that's how, I mean, that is part of his viewership, is he runs his mouth. He's got great viewership. People watch him, people tune in, and people want to hear him talk. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like NickMercs, good on you.
Yeah, whoever that is.
But I would go a step further in saying this. Nick opened his mouth way too early. You both hit the nail on the head with that. It's a business deal. It's a multi-million-dollar business deal. You do not say anything until pen has met paper. And typically, even then, the company's going to say, okay, we're going to professionally announce this. Don't say a word.
Yeah, because otherwise you get hit with insider information, all those legalities, and you can be in some really deep trouble for that.
Oh, they would sign
Correct.
NDAs 100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, trying to tell Nick not to talk is like trying to tell paint to stay wet on a wall. So you look at it from that standpoint, Nick screwed up. Courage and Ray are then announced. Nick opens his mouth again. Don't worry, FaZe Clan, we got big things happening. Okay, the part that I have a problem with in that is Nick had no purpose. Because keep in mind, Nick and Courage play together almost every day. Like, if you watch their streams,
that's not gonna happen.
well, they still do. They still do. So that tells me something had to have been said behind the scenes that they were like, probably Courage was like, look, dude, I want us to keep playing together. You like, are we cool? Because if not, like, you need to tell me.
So this might be a Nick and Nate shot, just pure beef.
I think that's exactly what it is. I think that he doesn't have any beef with Courage. He has beef with Nadeshot, and that's what he was trying to get at. But Nadeshot, you have to remember, Nadeshot played this beautifully. Nadeshot literally went,
Okay.
and didn't say a word. Never opened his mouth about it.
As you're supposed to do with business deals.
Thank you. Then Nick goes and signs on with FaZe. I'm almost wondering if he was fielding offers from both. Or
that's what I was going to bring up. I'm pretty sure that he was doing both at the same time.
Or to take it a step further, had he already received the offer from FaZe, didn't want to sign with FaZe, and was talking to Nadeshot behind the scenes about 100 Thieves.
I mean, that just comes with working both at the same time. It's just the same thing as like job applications.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 100%. But to me, it's like that kind of puts a sour taste in FaZe's mouth, because now all this drama's come out about you and 100 Thieves. Well, why have you been talking to us this whole time about signing a deal with us, but all of a sudden this comes out that you were talking to them, and on top of that, you're so fired up about it. Like, it definitely means something.
Yeah.
It means you were trying your hardest to get in with them.
Was Nick part of an org, or like was he like a creator for anybody? Or
I want to say he's been part of FaZe for a while.
okay.
Yeah. Here's what I would say about that. Like, if I was a FaZe representative or anything like that, or a co-owner even, first I'd be like, PR guys, where you at? Why didn't you keep this motherfucker shut?
Mm-hmm.
I messed that up, but I mean, granted. And then on the other flip side of that, I'd be afraid, because even though they are competitors in esports and stuff like that, you're not really supposed to have beef with your competitors. It's just supposed to be like, good game, you tried your best, we tried our best, whatever. Now this whole drama and everything introduces this whole second element, and now people are going to start taking sides, and that's going to be a really, if they play it right, it can be really good. But with the current way it's being handled out, not by 100 Thieves, but by FaZe, I don't see this positively impacting them and their social and like gaming influence.
Yeah, they'll have to play it right, because if they do, it would strengthen their core fan base. You know, because then it would, rally the masses and raise the fears and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, like
but
get the FaZe crusade going or something.
Yeah, you get FaZe ups all over the place or whatever the fuck they say. God damn it! Oh,
or like hashtag FaZe is right. Yeah. We're really bad at this.
God.
Soren's in chat saying, I've never heard you swear, Sam. I swear all the time. Now, I probably swear a little less than Anderson, but still, all the time.
I would say in severity of swearing, it's Anderson, me, Sam.
Yeah.
But I'm really close to Anderson. Like, I mean, like the gap is like that much.
Yeah, it's even worse when we're off streams.
Every other word. It's just.
Hang on, I gotta say this. So the other night when I was streaming with Corleone, I remember this. I was drunk and I remember I was saying a sentence, but I was fired up about it, and every other word was. And with me saying that, he said it was literally like my full sentence was, and this and like. It was literally just every other word. He goes, I don't think I've ever heard anybody do that before.
Oh, you should hear me when I use a whole string of cuss words and make it an actual sentence.
It's beautiful.
It's
an art form.
Delicate art.
Yeah.
It is.
That should be your NFT.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Just my whole constant talking on streams and stuff is just beep.
Anderson, what do you think? The whole time.
It only did like.
But
It only did like 2.
Like that's all it was.
Oh yeah, it cuts out.
Yeah. I think it's Discord cutting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do want to say this though, with the whole Nick and FaZe Clan thing, like this is the business side of me coming out. There are certain people you want to be the face of your company, and there are certain people you don't. I don't know if I'd want Nick.
I might have, for me, I might have him in the company and like in his role and stuff like that, but I wouldn't tell him confidential or like insider information until it's already,
because he's gonna run his mouth.
Exactly.
He's gonna, if you give that man a can of gasoline, he's gonna start a forest fire. Like that's just how you watch his streams, that's how his mouth works.
I don't think you even need a can of gasoline. I think you just need a spark for him. And then it's
true.
And then it's just, and you know.
But like, okay.
Yeah, the man is a walking gender reveal party.
That was beautiful.
That is a great just correlation there.
Everything about that.
So, but I mean, it goes into this too. Like Anderson. So Anderson always with our show, he always talks about how, and I have to say it because it's the term that we use.
Shitter. There you go.
He's a shitter. Anderson. Yeah. That. But the thing is, that's how Nick is, but turned up to like 20. Because you'll even watch his stream.
Straight up breaks the volume dial. He's not even a 10. He's a straight 20.
Yeah. There's times where he'll be on his stream and he'll be like going off about Tim or going off about Cloaksy or whoever, and they're not even in the stream. He's just complaining. Or he's saying something
when
like
it's a joke, or like you're like for like example, like Nuxaku, and you just shit on whatever. You do it on everybody, but then there's Nick, and he does it out of pure spite.
Yeah, and if he doesn't do it out of pure spite, he definitely commits to the bit. He definitely commits to the bit. I'll say that. And
to a point where it's not even a bit anymore.
It's really not. It's really not. And like, and we've even talked about that, like with our show too. Like, there are times where we're like commit to the bit, but then at some point you got to realize the bit's dead. Like the bit's dead. The bit's rotting. The bit is literally roadkill that got hit 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's literally beating a dead horse.
Yeah, and I would not want for a company that is valued at 305 million, estimated revenue 40 million, revenue from esports 20%, year like 20% growth in revenue, 27% growth in revenue year over year. You want a man like that to be at the face of your company? Courage and Valkyrie, face of 100 Thieves, chef's kiss. Why? They are stand-up streamers who genuinely care about their community, who genuinely care about gaming, who genuinely care about 100 Thieves and everything to deal with 100 Thieves.
And they know how to keep their mouth shut.
Exactly. Literally, the day that Courage was announcing that he was a co-owner of 100 Thieves, it got delayed like hours and hours and hours. And everyone in chat was just giving him dono after dono after dono, like, tell us, just tell us, just tell us, just tell us.
He's like, no.
He straight up was like, nope. What he did, this man didn't even turn a game on. He just sat and just chatting for hours, and even made a TikTok that went viral. Like, and he was like, you know what? Here's what I'll do for you. And he made they did a TikTok dance, and they went to the For You page like within 5 minutes. Like,
yeah, A+
he
promotion,
would
my
not
man.
say it. He would not say it. You could not break him. Like, that's the kind of person you want at the front of your company.
Yeah, even Ray, she wouldn't break on it either. She didn't even, I don't even think she was live leading up to this whole thing. She just stayed quiet, and she just dropped it on Twitter. It was like, yeah, we got big news coming for 100 Thieves, and that's it.
Speaking of Twitter, if I may for a moment, I'd like to quote Jack Courage Dunlop's tweet that he posted. Hey, Twitter, got my COVID vaccine over a month ago, but one of my side effects still hasn't gone away. Anyone know how to get rid of having a fat, juicy ass? Thanks.
I can tell you, Courage, there's no cure for that. You're just stuck being dummy thick.
Just get you a CDL, baby, to drive around that massive dump truck you got going on.
Have a CDL, but okay.
Okay. But
meanwhile, I can fit in the fucking compact parking spots.
Yeah,
some legit real life lady.
Sam's got a bass.
Bro, you ever seen Ed, Edd n Eddy? You know Plank?
Oh,
That's me.
yo, Plank thicker than Sam. Let's be honest.
I mean, true though. Yeah, I mean, you're not. I mean, I respect the roast.
Like the water just.
Oh my god! Let me see them cheeks. What you mean, them flapjacks? Like, so
What you mean, them 2x4s, my man?
geez, okay, Sam's gonna cry after this. I don't have a butt.
Hey, benefit though. Price of lumber's going up because of the pandemic. So,
This booty for sale, y'all.
so this ass is valuable.
That is the best save I've ever heard for a roast.
Oh, that was golden.
I applaud you, sir. I applaud you. Yeah, golf clap. But yeah, so chat, you know, of course, or YouTube out there as well, drop in the comments or in chat what you think about this, because to kind of bring it to conclusion on the topic, I mean, after seeing how Nick handles things, I don't think it was a good move for FaZe, but that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, mean, it could be a good move for them in terms of like relevancy and popularity, but as for letting him know company inside information and stuff like that, I wouldn't tell him.
Although maybe like
kept in the dark until the public announcement.
I feel like if there's any org that could survive NickMercs, it'd be FaZe. You know,
That's fair.
because like I mean, I'm not trying to be mean on them or anything like that, but like I can't really think of too many like true community outreach or anything like that. You know, like really it was just like trick shot video. Oh, by the way, here's a competitive team. Like, you know, like it wasn't ever anything like 100 Thieves is doing where they're like really engaging the community. So to keep it short, I think they'll be okay, but still probably not a good move, you know.
I think my biggest thing
is the relations between 100 Thieves and FaZe.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
I want to watch the relationship between Nadeshot and Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be ruined.
I don't think there's any salvaging there. I mean, because Nick straight up came out and he was ripping him a new one, dude. Like, he was just like, how can you do this? And who the hell is Scooter Braun? And Scooter Braun's gonna come out and say this to me. I'd whoop that dude's ass in a parking lot. Like, this is not the kind of business you want at the front page of your company. Like,
not even that. Nick kept it strictly personal, just between him and Nate, and they could have worked it out. But he dragged the businesses into it. The businesses that they help make and start up. So yeah.
But here's the thing too that Nick might not have ever thought of. If you had kept your mouth shut, you may be co-owner of 100 Thieves right now.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the underlying agreement between him and Nate Shot of like, look, verbal agreement, we'll talk paperwork, keep it down low, don't say a word. And I guarantee you Nick was like, yo, guess who's gonna be the next 100 Thieves co-owner, baby? Guess who it is? Oh, que pasa? Oh, que pasa? Ooh,
I mean, I was about to say that's just business 101. If someone would be like, yo, we'll talk shop later, but you got a strong chance, it's like, all right, bet I'm gonna keep my mouth shut until it actually goes down and I see the paperwork and I got a lawyer on scene.
Exactly right, 100%. But again, let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you think in chat. Boys, do y'all have any other in today's news that you'd like to talk about?
I still don't have a 3080.
What's the word on that right now? Are they like...
So there is some new news with the 3080 Ti, actually. So probably just going to end up skipping the 3080. The 3080 Ti supposedly is going to be getting the same kind of treatment that the 3060 or 3060 Ti. That was my dog, by the way. Yeah. Sorry. She does this like kind of noise, and it's like it's not a fun noise. But anyway, I think it was a 3060 Ti when that one came out. Nvidia was announcing like, we're keeping this, we're limiting the hash rate on these guys, so it's not going to be as popular for miners. So hopefully it, makes it a little bit more available. And of course that just got hacked like straight away. But the 3080 Ti and apparently their entire 30 series card lineup is going to be receiving the same treatment. As to how much of that is just hot air is yet to be determined. But I'm hopeful that maybe I can get a Ti a lot easier than I can get a 3080.
I was about to say, I'm just sitting here trying to wait for a 3070, and that, oh god.
Yeah. Oh, at this point I've been going for both. I've been going for a 3070 or 3080. I have been hounding. So there's a Discord that I'm part of that like it's a bot that posts the link. Yeah, and I had shared it with Anderson. Now that he's doing his thing, and it just immediately posts the link whenever one becomes available. And I click that shit, it's gone. Like quick. Like the only chance you have is Zotac drops them on their page every now and then, and they have a decent number of them. But they have the worst DDoS protection system.
Yep.
To the point where it thought I was DDoSing it just by refreshing it manually. And like, so no, shit you not, my other PC, at least on Google Chrome, is banned from the Zotac store. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Still a thing. I plugged it in the other day just to try it. I was like, I'm just curious. And I went to zotacstore.com. You cannot access this website. Like, oh.
You know what's funny? That's the same thing for me in GameStop.
Really?
Yeah. I just assume that they heard me talking mad crap about them on this show, and I legit can't access their website from phone. Yes. Computer? Absolutely not. And it's hilarious.
Yep.
But guess what? I got a PC now. I ain't got no console. Suck it, GameStop. I ain't giving you no more money. But GameStop still sucks. But I'm curious with the cards. So, do you think that maybe, just maybe, and I know this is going to pour salt on the wound, and I do apologize ahead of time. And there goes Anderson again. Do you think maybe, just maybe, they're blowing hot smoke because they're getting their money regardless?
To a degree, it's definitely a possibility. I think that I don't know. I've known a lot of people.
They don't care either way.
They don't care either way. NVIDIA has kind of a reputation for not caring. And this is another kind of recent news thing. If you are a Linux user, like day to day, but you still want a game, you have to have a Windows virtual machine to get like a decent gaming experience. Like you can game on Linux, but it's not going to be anywhere near the library that Windows has.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Yeah,
considering Linux is more universally used and it's much more stable.
Yeah, the problem is there is a clip of what's his name, Linus something. I can't remember.
Tech Tips?
No, not Linus Tech Tips. The actual like creator of Linux. It's Linus something or other. Or, Torvald, something like that.
It's Torvald, I think.
There's a clip of him saying, and I know we're not trying to, but he said, "Fuck you, NVIDIA," and flipped off the camera.
Oh, it was great.
Reason being, on a Windows virtual machine, there's something called pass-through for graphics cards, or there's pass-through for a lot of hardware. Basically, instead of using a virtualized version of whatever piece of equipment you're trying to do, you can actually use your equipment to control this Windows virtual machine. On an AMD card, it works great. And to this day, AMD cards are still the best for Linux. Whatever reason, quite a few years ago, NVIDIA decided if you are using a Windows virtual machine, then you are clearly an enterprise solution, or like an enterprise company, IT, whatever, like a professional.
Which is ridiculous.
And so they stopped they, with a driver update, disabled the ability to use a consumer graphics card on a Windows virtual machine.
Yep.
Completely. Now people have found ways around it. They're messy, but there's ways to get around it.
Yeah, they're complicated.
Just, I think today or yesterday, they finally announced that they're allowing pass-through for Windows virtual machines.
Yeah, but the fact that they got to announce it when it's a open source software,
it's shitty.
It's yeah.
And I know I shouldn't cuss, but it is.
I mean, it is what it is, because NVIDIA is just notorious for being horrible, like with user compatibility and friendliness.
So I don't think NVIDIA actually cares. I hope that they do, but
I feel like NVIDIA is one of those companies where all the employees and everything like that, like at least bottom level or like not managers or CEOs, they actually do care and they actually do game stuff for themselves. But it's all these CEOs, COOs, and everything like that up top that don't care and are just about the money.
Yeah, I mean, any non-executive is going to be a human and want people to succeed, but anybody at the top just isn't going to.
Yeah, I mean, because people at the top are usually kind of the people that were like, yeah, I use other people and stepped on their backs to get to where I am.
Yep. So that remains to be seen. Wish me luck on my hunt for a 3080. If anybody out there has RTX 3080 or is near a micro center, I will pay you to go get one for me.
Same, or 3070 on my end though.
Yep.
I'm perfectly happy with my 2080 Super, so you ain't getting no money from me.
Yeah, it's literally so bad right now that even the PC I'm getting built right now, with when this podcast airs or whatever, I got to go with a 1070, which granted is a generation more advanced than my current GTX or graphics card, but still, that's how bad it's gotten.
It'll still be better, but it's just not going to be.
It's not going to be the best that I want, even though everything else I'm putting in my PC is the latest and greatest, pretty much.
Yeah, it'll still work.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. And you can always flip the 1070 for more than you got it for, probably.
Yeah, true. I looking at it from the outside perspective, it's insane how much this has flipped on. I mean, in the past year, with how difficult it is just to get one. Like,
it's not even that, it's just difficult to get computer parts in general, because there's a silicone storage and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge, like widespread kind of problems. Like the car industry is severely affected by that.
Do not get me started.
Yeah.
Do not get me started.
And I mean, just with how electronic everything's getting, you know, like, you know, if there's a shortage of silicone in the world, we're screwed. And, you know, like there's not much you can do about it. And just, you got to be on the ball and try to beat the bots or join them.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause hot tip. Me personally, I will not buy a car that has like a computer like diagnostics center or software or anything like that, because it is way more expensive to pay for repair for those things than it is just for a regular car. That's why my truck is a base model, because I'm like, I'm not paying for that computer because I know how to fix it, but if I mess something up, the whole car is messed, well, the whole truck is messed up. And that's why I hate. Let me see. We get
So, Corleone's back in the chat. What's going on, man? And then FC Baby dropping in with the where TF is the Joe nose ring emote. I subscribed for one reason only.
Hey,
I'll make it happen.
I'm about it.
I'll make it happen. Don't worry. I got you.
You need to make it where I'm like constantly adjusting it.
Yeah.
Because I'm always over here just like fixing it.
Yeah. Well, the GIFs are a lot harder to make, but I'll at least start off with a still image of something. So don't worry. Because I've got an extra emote slot open right now. So I'll get to work on that here shortly.
I do want to say this, and this is coming from perspective, because I know we've said it before, and I am the least technical when it comes to the three of us. Like, I'm all business. You talk to me about analytics, you talk to me about business, I can talk for days. You bring up computer parts and I go, yep.
Yeah, Joe's basically the HR.
Yeah, I am literally
that's all.
the HR of our group. Like, just minus the like, so Anderson, you said something colorful the other day. Look, can we talk about
Bitch, I am colorful. What do you mean?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna give you, hey, that was a good one. That was a good one. But somebody clip that for TikTok. I don't know anything when it comes to computer parts, besides the base stuff that I've learned. But I do keep up with the market enough to see what's going on, and it's
well, that and Anderson and I talk about it enough to where
true.
Yeah.
But it just on the business side of things, like, it blows my mind that. So, how can I say this? It blows my mind in a sense, but at the same time, it makes sense that a company would openly allow bots to buy up all these products and just kind of keep saying like, hey, we'll fix it, it's okay, we'll fix it, and then they don't fix it, because it's at some point, it goes back to the Warzone theory. At some point, your users,
they got their money regardless.
correct, at some point your users, the ones who game, the ones who get those cards for the purpose they're made for, at some point they're gonna go, cool, I'll take my money elsewhere. Like,
which is pretty much what happened, because AMD has rocketed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't doing so well there for a while, not that long ago. And it's getting to the point where I'm contemplating an AMD card. Like, trust me, I'd much prefer an RTX, but like at this point, like, I just need something, like I need something better than what I got. Or I just need something else.
The only thing that's stopping me is that I can't really utilize an AMD the way it's supposed to be utilized.
Yeah.
And also, I would have to buy a completely new motherboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've even thought about myself. Like, if I ever upgrade, I thought about going AMD, but at the same time, I'd have to rebuild my entire PC from the ground up.
And I just want
because everything would have to fit. Like, everything would have to work.
You wouldn't have to build anything. You just replace the graphics card. Literally.
Yeah.
Would it fit with my build?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The graphics card at this point, like, it's not like
I'm the HR, not the tech person.
So it's like, well, you might not know, but how like an AMD and an Intel.
I don't know. Just assume I don't know.
But so an AMD and an Intel processor, you need a different socket for those, right? It's
That I
not.
do know.
That is not the case with the graphics card. It's all PCI Express 4, Gen 3, Gen 4.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me clarify. That's what I was talking about. I was going full AMD, top
Gotcha.
down AMD.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about that before. I was talking about going AMD because AMD processors are great for what I do. I did look into that. I've talked to both of you about this. I've looked into it. I've read everything. They are great for what I do because I do still do a lot of video editing for the show. I do still do a lot of audio editing, and I also game. So for what I do, they were great. As a matter of fact, Corleone and I were talking about it last night. The thing that I would be worried about with doing that, and I think I'm going to stay Intel regardless, but the thing that would worry me tremendously with that is the fact of how hot they get, because they cook.
What, AMDs?
Yes, they get.
Hey, you just got to get a halfway decent cooler, and then you're good.
I was about to say,
Like-
just get a good all-in-one, or even that. You can
Honestly,
just stick
even
with
the stock cooler that comes with it is fantastic.
But
No pun intended.
that's where I was saying I would need to rebuild top down if I wanted to do that, because I would need to make sure that the cooler fits what I would need. I would need to make sure that I have a motherboard that's going to take care of the processor and also get the card with it. It would be a full rebuild, but I really like what I have. So
Yeah. There's no
I'm okay.
there's no need for you to do that.
Correct.
At all.
Correct.
Like,
It would literally be out of
Oh, thanks,
pure
Kate.
want.
Kate also said you can talk for a subject, you can talk for days regardless of the subject. By the way, going back to you talking about business and not so much that. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it, and I mean, I've got an AMD card, or I mean, I've got an AMD processor, so I know like AMD has this neat little trick where you can utilize parts of your CPU with it along with the GPU and stuff like that. So like which will probably make up that gap between an AMD card and an NVIDIA card for me, but. I don't know. I'm gonna play around with it. I might just see, like, if I'm able to buy an AMD card, I might just go for it at this point.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think gents, that's where we should call it.
Yeah. Unless we had any other news that was pressing to any of us.
Anderson, you got anything, pal?
The only thing I had two smaller ones, but the only other one that I saw that was any interest was that ransomware group demanded $50 million from Apple because they stole their schematics for future projects.
Oh.
Yeah, and all I have to say to that one is, why Apple? We already know what the fuck their products are going to be.
Yeah. It's gonna be the same stuff every time.
Yeah, and they were just demanding it. I don't see Apple's response to it here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this now. I wish Steve Jobs were still alive, because Steve Jobs actually had so many, and I don't know if y'all ever read into a lot of the projects he had, but there were so many different projects that he had going that would have had completely revitalized the tech market.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
he was definitely a revolutionary at the time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, rest in peace, Steve Jobs. Since he got taken by cancer, but I mean, he definitely had some ideas, and he was definitely influential to the market. Even though some, if not half of the ideas that he stole were kind of stolen from Bill Gates.
Although Apple has been not, I don't like to give Apple credit very often. I'm not an Apple fanboy. None of us here are.
No, he has an iPhone.
I am currently using an iPhone. That is partly due to my profession to
Hey,
be
Anderson.
better.
Samsung Bros.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I'm the in-betweener, because I have a Apple for work, but then I have a Android for personal.
All right, we gotta go, guys. Hey, have a good night. Bye.
And I control the stream. You don't have any control. Haha. Anyway,
Bye.
you can leave the Discord. But Apple has been making some pretty decent headway on, like, I don't know if you've seen their new M1 chips. Anderson, you probably have seen a little bit on that.
Yeah,
But
I've seen them.
so when it comes to your normal laptop, that's not a gaming laptop, that has changed the game when it comes to that stuff. So they're getting better, and they've just recently started putting that in their iPads. Well, they will here in 5 days when it comes out.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Apple's basically making it where even if you buy a run-of-the-mill standard laptop and stuff like that, you're still able to game. Maybe not the latest and greatest, or like,
yeah,
say like if they really say like Doom Eternal on ultra high graphics or anything like that, but you're still able to game.
well, and it's not even gaming. I'm just talking like productivity. You know, like especially for like, you know, work at home use or, you know, anything like that.
Workflow and everything.
Yeah,
like that,
and then also when it comes to like portability with like their laptops, like they're now starting to get like some of the best battery life, some like, and it's just like a lot of like the fastest processing speed. So like their M1 chip is literally a processor and a GPU put together, and the way that they access everything is just really good. So they are getting better. I will give them credit where credit is due. I will still not buy one. My fiance is probably going to buy the new iMac.
Horribly expensive.
They're horribly expensive. They're not what I need them for at all. Like if I had a job where I was editing video all the time, might consider a Mac Pro. It would be expensive as hell, but they are the best in the business, to be honest.
I will stick with Android.
I will stick with it.
Allow me functionality and stuff like that.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like in very particular subject cases, that's the only time I would get it.
I mean, yeah,
I'd love to get
designer or something like that. Yeah, Apple would probably be perfect for you.
Yeah,
I would love to get Big Dick Camera Guru in here.
Oh yeah,
for that conversation, because he and I have talked about that.
Because he's all Apple, isn't he? Or
yeah. But I've also got I corrupted him with DaVinci, and he loved it.
Oh really? Well, I mean, DaVinci's like the big one that a lot of professionals use. So like,
yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that makes sense. But and especially with it being cross-platform.
Well, okay, but you got to think of it from this standpoint, and I'll say this so we can get out of here. You have to think of it from this standpoint. Bringing up, you were talking about like doing video editing and stuff. If you're doing stuff like that, don't have like
yeah.
You want to go the distance. If you're going to do video editing, learn what you're using, use it correctly, and then judge accordingly. Everything DaVinci does, you have to get in multiple different programs for Mac related OS.
Yeah, or Adobe even.
Correct.
Yep.
So if you're going to use anything on Mac, you're going to have all these different programs you got to run your video through or open to do the editing. Whereas all of that is in one in DaVinci right here on my computer. So it's like, and then at the top, again, I go back to that statement of if you're going to edit, learn the software, use the best of the best. You don't have to purchase it. DaVinci has a free software. I do everything with the free software. Would I love to buy the premium? Absolutely. Why? Because there's so much more that I can learn to use. But for what I do for our show, I don't need the premium now.
It works great. I mean, we can make like professional animations. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can do. Like I've been tinkering with the animation side of things.
Yeah, you have. You also got into this as well. So I say that to say, even on the Apple side of things, they would really have to step their game up tenfold for me to even consider it.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that is difficult between my wife and I being able to communicate on our phones is we can't FaceTime. You know how we fix that problem? Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Works just as good.
But it's not built in. Me.
No one cares. Half the stuff you use on your phones aren't built in.
Also, Facebook sells all your information to China. So,
Well, actually, if you get an Android, Facebook app already comes pre-installed. Messenger doesn't, but you can still get it. Yeah. And boom, there it is.
Also,
even though it's built in,
says that
hey, Lottie 921, thanks for joining.
Shut up. Hate that argument. Everything's third party now.
I thought you were telling me to shut up for a second. I was like, hello.
No.
I was like, what?
That was just bad timing.
I was telling people that like argue that it doesn't come pre-installed or pre-built in, or it's not part of the Apple or Android family. Everything's third party nowadays.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It really is. Well, are we Gucci, boys?
I think we're Gucci.
Gucci.
All right. Well, as always, chat, thank you so much for coming to hang out. Don't worry, according to Sam, the nose ring emote is coming. Can't wait for that one. But of course, Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in for the live stream of this. This was a blast. A lot of fun stuff. Always talking about new events, current events stuff is always fun. But what we need you to do, I don't know how many people are in chat right now.
Got a decent amount.
I don't know if this,
Got a decent amount.
Good. So what I need all of you to do right now, I don't know if he's still streaming, but he's about to get some hardcore notifications, even if he's not. 176 Corleone, we got a little battle going on with him right now. I need all of you to go follow his stream, and if you can, drop some subs on him as well. If you can drop 5 gifted, fantastic. If you have an Amazon Prime, great. Also, for the sake for us too, if you could drop Prime on us, would be nice. We'll see. But Prime subs always fun. Thank you for that. If you can. Wait, who was that? Was that Anderson?
That was Anderson. Yeah. No, I was busy putting
Nice.
the link for Gary's thing.
Nice. So yes, go drop him some follows and some subs. We love that dude to death. He's amazing. And of course, join in all the fun. Join our Facebook, our TikTok, our Instagram, all the social medias, and our Discord, where a lot of debauchery takes place, because we do have a lot of fun on there. We had a few people join in last night while I was just hanging out after hours. So a lot of fun. And of course, YouTube, if you haven't yet, and you're watching this right now, and you liked the content you saw, there's a like button right down there. Go hit that, so that way the YouTube algorithm knows that you want to see more of this, and people should see more of this because we appreciate it. And if you haven't, hit the subscribe button, the bell icon, so you stay up to date on all the uploads we have on YouTube 4 days a week. 4. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4.
Multiples on Tuesday and Thursday.
That's indeed correct. That is correct, sir. So we're going to head out for the evening. Thank you all for tuning in, having fun, hanging out, like fun stuff. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.